Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. This is going to be a February tarot for Sagittarius. Get it focused about to here. So the reading that I'm doing for February is my Yin-Yang Relationship Check-In. So I've got 3 cards from one deck over here, and I'll be putting the bottom card of the deck here, and then 3 cards from another deck, and then we'll take the bottom of that deck here. I've also got my bucket of charms, and I'm going to be using those to get an overview for this reading. The decks that I'm using is my combined deck of Tim Burton and historical fashion playing cards. And I've got the Syrian Starseed Tarot, and I just trimmed the white edge off of this. It had a couple, like 2 or 3 millimeters of white border all the way around. So I've just trimmed them. I still can't quite get my hand all the way to span them when I'm shuffling them, but it's a little bit easier now. So those are there. They're all inverted, but whatever. I'll worry about that when we get there. So I'm just going to move these stacks out of the way. So we'll get the bottom deck from here. 6 of Orbs inverted. See, they're not all upside down. Just some of them. And I'll get the bottom one from this pile. So we have the King of Pentacles. All right. I feel like I want to read the playing cards first, but I'm going to get some charms to get to hone in on the subtitle of what we're looking at here. So I found that all of these February Yin-Yang check-ins have to do with shifting timelines. Oh, it's cold in here. Okay, so I'm going to get some charms. I'm shaking this up a lot between things, but I feel like I need this message in a bottle. So I'm just going to take that one out. I'll get my hand in here and I'll get a couple more. Are you done yet? Okay. A lot of charms here. Alright, so what are we looking at for Sagittarius energy for February? So I have the hands here. This charm is a lot like, for me, like the 6 of Pentacles. I have a hand here that's, you know, bigger and fancier, giving a coin to these shreddy gloves down here. Poverty-stricken gloves. So over here I have the Grand Pianer. I'm hearing Baby Grand. It's a song by Billy Joel and Ray Charles. I have the I Cannot Brain. I have the Dumb Today. The Horse and Cart. Oh, God damn it. The Horse and Cart. So this just flipped over while I was trying to pick that back up. We're going to leave it. This is the calendar. Alright, and here's this message in a bottle that I pulled out because it was looking at me. I'm not sure what these all mean yet. So I've got Weird Al, which is interesting. He's come up recently for me because I've got a Nirvana synchronicity. It smells like Teen Spirit there. I have the Lily. the feminine energy here. So we have the, basically the Empress, and the dark side of the yin-yang with a little bit of white in it. I have the peace sign. So these inverted charms, let me put these ones here, and then I'll put the inverted ones over here. Oh, I forgot, I got a couple more over here. So I have the watering can. God damn it, they're flying all over. The watering can. I'll put that with the lily, because that makes sense. Something about make. Oh, okay, that goes with the Six of Pentacles, because that's the right garden. Weird Al and the piano. Message in a bedroom. The blinds. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure this out. I've got the candelabra. I have a little Liberace moment here, so I'm going to put that with the candle. Which leads into the drapes. Okay. Oh, that's not... Oh, okay, I haven't gotten to the inverted ones yet. Okay. So I have the boombox inverted. I have the bone inverted. I got this in another reading. I said I found this humorous. Although I think it's supposed to... I think I drew... I was thinking it was a femur, but... I found this humorous. And I have... I'm going to be laughing at that for a while. I have the microscope. One of the dolls that I did in my unboxing yesterday had a microscope. I have the no symbol. No bones about it, man. I have the seed of life. Interesting that the seed is backwards, but then the lily that has the same six-fold symmetry is upright. I have Stonehenge. So we got some ancient history going on over here, right? So I'm looking at something in a microscope. There's something that's not going on. I have a seed. I have this bone and Stonehenge, which is both old stuff. I'm surprised the Stegosaurus didn't fall out. I also have this hat here. Duke! But those are all inverted. So Sagittarius has a lot going on here. It's like when you hold something in for a long time and then all of a sudden you get to talk to somebody and you're like blah 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 blah, and they're like, slow down a minute there. Just trying to remember the lyrics to Baby Grand because I haven't listened to my Billy Joel CD in a while. Okay, so and there's a time aspect. This calendar flipped over when I was trying to pick up the horse and cart, and I was thinking, fuck your apple cart. Like, turning a cart over. This can be the Chariot. This is, like, part of my expansion pack of charms that I made after the first batch was done, because my original Chariot charm is a UFO. But this is more of, like... It's a little bit Knight of Pentacles, because it's coming in slow. And also there's, like, baggage, or it's like I'm bringing something with me. Message in a bottle. Oh, also coming in slow, because it takes a long time for the bottle to float in the waves, if I could talk. And I feel like the peace and the feminine energy are going together. Right, because the peace symbol is sort of like one side's the masculine, one side's the feminine, and then in the bottom you can see these are the two pieces that are switched. It also reminds me of a Trivial Pursuit pie thing with the different pieces in it. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I got caught in the blinds. The black cat there. Blinded. Blindsided by something. And I see Weird Al in the candle, and it reminds me of... Oh, that's where the horse cart and cart go. And also the message in a bottle. Okay, so I don't... Like, what's the piano for in that? I don't think it's in that song. But I see the candelabra, I have the message in a bottle, I have Weird Al, and I have the horse and cart. So I'm looking at Amish Paradise. Churned butter once or twice, living in an Amish paradise. Sell quilts at discount price. Okay. Even Ezekiel thinks that my mind is gone. So I'm looking at the calendar here, and it's making me think of this part of the song where the lyric is, tonight we're gonna party like it's 1699. It's like there's something that's going on that, in terms of like communication, like we're communicating with each other in a way that's archaic and slow. And it's like trying to open the windows and shed light on a new way of communicating with somebody is proving to be very confusing and not going very well. Instructions unclear. Caught in window. Now, I keep hearing that lyric, my baby gran's been good to me. Ever since this gig began, my baby gran's been good to me. So there's this idea of something playing out and having something to connect emotionally to, that in the end, in the whole scheme of things, there's a resonance pattern going on. And there's some kind of energy going on that has to do with the feminine energy. Like the feminine energy wants to be at peace. But I think some of the antiquated energy here might have to do with the patriarchy. But not necessarily. Think of the piano as a percussion instrument, right? What is percussion? Percussion is heartbeat. So we're dealing with something that's been something in the heart center, where it's like I've been doing something in a way that's sort of played out, and I've been intentionally choosing to be like I was trying to say like backwards compatible with it. It's like I don't want to emotionally play Halo. I want to emotionally play Oregon Trail. You've died of dysentery. So over here, I have the giving hand. I have this lily here, which can be representative of feminine energy, because that Lilith, flower energy. And then the watering can, right? I'm pouring emotion into it. I'm emotionally giving to something that will bloom with life in a way that's resonant with universal energy, which requires the feminine energy and the masculine energy, because the 3 petals masculine, 3 petals feminine. And we see that energy here in the back of the Syrian starseed card too, right? We're looking at a tetrahedron, and we see it starting to interact, the male triangle interacting with this triskelion, which is the feminine energy, and they're joining together. And also the energy of the 6 of Pentacles, which is the masculine energy's open heart chakra. So it's this idea of I'm being generous, and the energy of that is the moon in Taurus. So there's Venus energy, and we see her right here, but also the moon is feminine energy to begin with. It's like I'm stable enough to be able to give to others, but I decide when it's too much for me, so that there's a balance that remains there. The Six of Pentacles, being a 6, is technically a lower vibration of the Lovers, but it has to do with practicality. It has to do with resources, but the resources can be emotional. You know, like, I don't have the battery power to come to meet you face to face, but I might send you a letter, even though it'll take a long time to get there, or it might take me longer to get to where you are, which is the Knight of Pentacles. And then over here, I have the King of Pentacles. So let me take a look at these inverted charms here. So I see the microscope and the seed of life as going together, right? But they're inverted. It's like I'm not going to nitpick everything down to the smallest microscopic details. And we see the same pattern. I have the six fold double tetrahedral energy coming together. The seed of life is the zygote. It's the masculine and the feminine energy coming together to create something new. And this would be like the structure of an atom, right? Something that's microscopic. And inverted, I have the no symbol, and it's almost like it's like I'm unblocking, like I'm unblocking you, kind of an energy. The idea of turning over, looking at the microscope, it's like I'm not going to nitpick you for this event that happened, or that event that happened, or this event that happened. It's like, what is the whole scope of our relationship? Why are we squabbling over details? I'm also getting this idea of like ancient history. And in some way, it could be resolving past lives, but it could also be like ancient technology, especially if you consider 2001: A Space Odyssey. They're like throwing bones at each other, and then there's a monolith, and then it's like all of a sudden like technology. But I mean, bone tools were some of the first tools used. Bone club, bone tools. So in essence, this could be, I never thought of it this way, but this could be an Ace of Wands. But there's this idea of like advancement of technology in the past, and also this idea of this like Amish level of technology versus where we are now. So and also see that with these charms that came in inverted, the bone is an older technology than megalithic buildings that have astronomical orientations. But why they're inverted, I really think it has to do with, in some way, putting the past behind you. And there's an aspect of like I'm putting like really old stuff behind me, but I'm still stuck in a more remote past. You know, like I might have forgiven you for what happened 3 years ago, but I'm still mad at you for what happened 6 months ago. That kind of energy. But it might be it might be specifically different than that, or less specific than that. It's like, where is your ability to communicate? Are you emotionally savvy? Right? Are you still behaving emotionally the way people were 200 years ago? Are you still behaving emotionally the way your parents were? Or have you been able to invest in a choice where you're able to access your emotions right? My baby grand's been good to me. I'm able to flow with the rhythm of the heart and access either my inner feminine or my whole feminine energy. And there's this idea of emotional growth. Now, in my music deck, these images and the Six of Pentacles in general are related to the song by Jane Oliver called The Right Garden. And it's this idea of it's like I wasn't able to create a viable love situation with somebody, and it really upset me. But if I don't want to never give to anybody ever again, because maybe if I give love, it will become this seed of love that I bring out will actually grow in a more fertile soil, i.e. if you plant your love in someone else's heart, if you send your love out in a little bottle, you know, the person you want it to go to, they might not give a shit at all. But if the right person says like, "Ooh, what's that? I'm getting some vibes. Let me look into this." The curiosity creates a viable soil, metaphorically. This one I get a little bit like pull the wool over your eyes, but also looks like one of those turtle shells in Mario Kart. No, it's like watch what you throw when you think you're ahead. But it's in the past. So there might be this idea of like grandstanding in the past, like, ooh, look how I'm doing. And then suddenly realizing that your relationship is like a skipped tape. Right? It's all crunchy in one part and the magnet's worn off. And it's like all stretched out, and you have to keep getting a pencil and putting it back together. And it's like, well, why would you want to keep playing that song if every time you listen to it, it's going to jam and you're going to have to put all that freaking stuff back in there, and you're sitting there with the thing going like this for an hour so you can try to get that resonance again. Just put a magnet on it and get over it. Alright, so there's a lot to unpack there, and this might end up being the longest reading because I might have to do a third segment for this one, but we'll see. Alright. I feel like this reading's going to kick my ass because I have a Sagittarius stallion, but we'll see. So I wanted to read these cards first. So the energy on this side of the yin-yang. Six of Orbs inverted. Okay. Six of Swords. Oh! Look at that. I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera, but there's a Metatron's cube with the angular lines back here, which is the same. It's the expanded form of this. Masculine energy. It's that same interlocking tetrahedral structure of the universe. Six of Orbs is Mercury in Aquarius. And February kicks off with Mercury in Aquarius, but it's also retrograde. Six of Orbs inverted for me is I need to go deeper. Ace of Swords inverted. The Lady of the Lake has the sword, right? I'm going to dive for it. Seven Swords inverted tells me there's a clearing of mischief, right? Lies are being exposed. Like, this is bullshit, and I'm going to dig it out. Traditionally, the moon in Aquarius. Although moon energy inverted is sunlight, right? I'm bringing the truth to light. But I've reassigned it Pluto in Aquarius. for 7. And whenever I see scorpionic energy inverted, that tells me I need to go deeper also, right? Because Pluto is Sagittarius. I mean, Pluto is Scorpio. Ugh. There, if I could talk. Okay. So hopefully that wasn't too convoluted. What is... Oh, the convoluted universe. Who wrote... Is that Dolores Cannon? Maybe that's relevant. Okay. 10 of Pentacles upright. Styling. My ends are beating like a muff. Mercury and Virgo. Okay. So while we're digging deeper, it's like we're getting, like, the inner child's grown up and is getting ready to get married. Interesting. Virgo also represents the maiden, though. Like a youthful feminine energy. Like something that's new. Right? Because the Virgo could be a page. Right? Because pages are often princesses. She can be the inner child of the Empress. She can be like the lady in waiting of the Empress. She's like in training. And it's part of the trifold goddess of the mother, the maiden, and the crone. But in the 10 of Pentacles, it's this idea of contentment. So we see in the card there's a feminine energy that's achieving contentment. I see 11 here, although it's inverted, and I see Virgo energy, and I see the ace here. And if I say I'm taking a sword away from the 10 of Pentacles, it's giving me this idea of the Hermit, which is still Virgo energy, and still I'm going deeper inside. Look at this, 10 and 6, 16, the Tower, 17, the Star. So there's a restructuring, but it's internal. It's multi-dimensional because it's happening across more than one suit. And we're dealing with possibly the inner child, the inner feminine, or specifically the feminine half of the inner child. But again, it could also be this idea of younger female energy. Like, what does it mean to be a girl? What does it mean to be creative and, like, it's like vibrating with the biosphere more than vibrating with, like, the rocks and the trees, right? I mean, I know the trees are part of the biosphere, but it's more like especially because there's a dolphin here, it's like I'm in tune with the birds and the dolphins and the fishies and the squirrels. It's like a little bit Snow White action, right? She's kind of a maiden, especially in the Disney movie. And then if you think of boys, it's more like kicking and running and climbing and digging and things like that. It's more like tactile and building and stuff like that in terms of energy, not like boys only do this and girls only do this, because everybody has both. It's the linear part of thing. It's the crystalline form, and the biosphere is all like mutation and round and everything like that, right? Like masculine energy a little more silicate, feminine energy a little more carbonate, if that makes sense. So, I gotta flip this one over. 4 of Wands. So I see 11 here. That's a universal timing number. It could be a twin flame number as well, if that's applicable. When I see the 4 of Swords here, it's got Paris green on, very deadly. 4 of Wands. Venus and Aries. All right. The Empress and the Emperor energy together. Four of Wands is 1111. It's also a twin flame number. But again, it's this building something together here. It's sort of communication. Building up a tangible way of offering something, right? I'm manifesting myself to you in the 3D, and not necessarily I'm going to give you all this stuff, 10 Pentacles, but I'm going to establish a foundation with you. So I have 14 Temperance, balance, 15 the Devil, although it's broken up, so it's sort of a shift happening, but there is Saturn in energy in Aquarius, also Sagittarian energy in Aquarius because Jupiter is in Aquarius also, and Mercury. And Mars, the Emperor, is in Taurus, which is where the planet Uranus is at the beginning of February. So everyone's getting a huge hit of Aquarian energy because that's all where all the big hitters are at this point. But we're looking at this crossover here of the King of Pentacles, right? The Emperor in the physical manifestation suit, and he's dressed like a mummy, and it's giving me a little bit. I was gonna say Osiris vibes, but I got this new deck in the mail today. I've been wanting it for a long time. And I was looking at it earlier, and one of the cards was the god Ptah, who is like the guy who, in the Egyptian mythos, who genetically engineered the humans. So I was going to say Osiris, but Ptah is wrapped up like a mummy, kind of, also. So that could be him. Right, he's trying to manifest something. He's trying to grow something. He's trying to, he's altering the structure of the biosphere in that way. I'm not really sure where this reading is going because it's like all this information doesn't seem to really flow together, and that's probably why I was avoiding doing it. So I'm gonna have to do a third section. This is really weird. So on this side with the King, I have the Three of Crystals. This is Trinity on it. It's like a shop, like a crystal shop. Now, usually the Three of Pentacles is like the blueprints, Mars and Capricorn. But it's coming in inverted. It's like, again, it's like if he's altering the structure of the biosphere, the plans are like, I'm gonna toss the instructions out the window, right? I'm just gonna mess around and see what I can do, right? I'm not gonna put this furniture together by the instructions. I'm going to tweak it a little. I'm going to customize it, right? I'm not gonna build it's like, I'm not going to build a Trojan horse out of these Legos. I'm going to turn it into a castle. And I'm going to stick the little horse legs out the front door as like a signpost or something. Ace of Flames inverted. So it's interesting because there's two aces inverted. And notice how I said that this bone could be like the Ace of Wands, but it came in backwards. And we're seeing that reciprocated in the cards here. So I feel like this has to do with the past in some sense on this side. 4 inverted. Interesting. What's this? 9 of Crystals inverted. So 9 of Pentacles inverted. And there's that. Look at this. It's the same bitch in the white dress. I feel like these cards are talking to each other. 9 of Crystals inverted talking to 9 of Pentacles inverted talking to the 10 of Pentacles upright. Ace of Flames inverted talking to both of these cards, actually. 4 of Ace of Wands, Four of Wands with the Ace of Swords. The Three of Pentacles talking to the Six of Orbs as like a half. And the King is kind of in the middle of this shifting planes situation here. So this reading is kind of obscure, and I don't know if I'm having a hard time with this reading and the Scorpio one because I altered the cards before I did it, or if I'm just in a weird mode here because I'm not doing real great right now. But I want to spend more time just kind of sitting in the energy. It's throwing me off because a lot of these are inverted, and I can't just say this is only the past, because these energies feed into each other. That's why there's a yin-yang. Oh, okay. These readings have to do with timeline shifts. And the crossover point is like the point of the shift. All right. Nine of Pentacles inverted is like... Trying to remember how this goes. Is it Cups and Swords that are like the opposite? Nine, yeah, the Dream. This ends up behaving like the Nine of Wands, the Moon in Sagittarius. But the energy that's coming with it is saying... We're talking about Venus in Virgo. Right? Specifically the inner child of the Empress, because we have Venus on there. The inner child of the Empress has been waiting around a long time for somebody to bring in some sort of manifestation of an offer. It's like a feminine energy in this thing was not... It was like I wasn't given to in a certain way as a child, and I'm struggling to establish giving myself that as an adult. Like the feminine energy has had to be in a state of lack, hoping and waiting that something would come eventually. It was sort of like, in my gut, I know that the blueprints of the universe aren't always none for you. And it's like, that's the only thing that's keeping the Five of Pentacles off of the table. But notice the root of the problem, right? 9 divided, like 9 root is 3. In the same suit, it's like the root of never seeing any manifestation of like contentment or protection or being given to out like in the 3D. It's like, I'm going to tell you that I love you. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to make you feel that it's coming, but then it never does. And it's like in your mind, you're like, yes, something's going to happen. And then it's sort of like the plan is it's spoken into being and then it manifests. But it's like something never actually comes through. So the energy that's going to heal this inner child wound, especially in terms of feminine energy, is actually the King of Pentacles. And why? Because the King is the one who balances the manifestation. Now, it could be trying to heal a relationship wound where you're always trying to be with somebody who's emotionally unavailable. And it doesn't matter what your gender is, because everybody harbors both energies. If you're saying my inner feminine isn't healed, I need balance, I need a masculine energy to come in and make peace with my feminine energy in that way. It's sort of like there's Venus energy here, waiting and waiting and waiting. Oh, now the battery's going. And there's no peace with the feminine energy if a masculine energy is never manifesting. And again, it can be an internal thing. And it's not to say like, oh, I'm a damsel in distress. It's like, right, I don't need a superhero. That's not the truth. Because here, there's two female energies here, right? The feminine energy is giving to herself. Right? The Empress is taking the inner child shopping. But like to go deeper, there's a rift between the energies. And it's at a societal level. And I'm trying to figure out how to explain what the King of Pentacles does, because it really isn't just like, I'm a girl and I was hurt when I was younger because I was promised stuff and it never came through and I didn't have anything and I didn't know how to interact with people, and then I was like, I'll just have to do everything myself, but then I always had a hole in me and I don't want to be rescued, I just want to be happy, blah blah blah, da, 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 and so on. So it's sort of like look at this. The masculine energy is mummified. This feminine energy, this maiden, suspicious of masculine energies because a balanced 14 masculine energy has been essentially dead for a long time. Right? This is sort of like rising from the grave, which is why we have the bone here and Stonehenge. All right, it's like everyone's masculine energy is sort of waking from the dead. It's like I went to water my garden and this hand, like zombie hand, reaches up out of the ground and is sort of like, oh, I didn't know it was time to manifest. I've been waiting for 3,000 years and what the hell's going on here? Like, give me a minute, let me get my sinews back on. So there's actually a dormant quality to a balanced masculine energy. And I think the reason that the feminine energy is so wounded is that it's something that nobody's seen in a really long time, which is why there's all these, right? It's like, I don't even understand this. Like, no wonder I don't feel good. So, I don't know if I want to explain this any further. I think I need another card, and I want one that's upright, because it's... still just a little too big for me to properly shuffle. I wanted to get some of the other cards facing back the other way. What is the whole point of what's going on here? Like, I feel like the information that comes out when I get sort of word stuck like this is really good and potent, but I always wonder if people are not going to understand what I'm trying to convey because it's so disjointed. So let's see what we've got here. Of course, it's the Hanged Man. But look, he's trapped in a crystalline structure. 12. Okay. Breaking down to 3, which is the number of the Empress. But 3 times 4, the Empress times the Emperor, brings the 12. 3, 4, 6, all going into there. So the Hangman is Neptune energy. So we actually, what's going on is there's a subconscious block. And I'm also getting this idea of the sacral chakra a little bit. I'm having a hard time reconciling the energies because the masculine energy has been like buried so deep in the subconscious. I'm talking about balanced masculine energy that people have like almost don't remember it. And it's like, I need to reach deep into the past. I need to reach deep into my soul. I need to reach deep into the universe to draw forth this energy. And it's like waiting for a shoe to drop. But the foundation in the contentment is there, and the balance is there. It's like the energy for February is, it's like the Mercury retrograde process over, 6 weeks or however long is going to pull in this message from the universe. So I think there's confusion at the outset because the energy that's going to manifest to heal wounds related to lack of balanced masculine energy in the world as we know it, in the 3D world, in the can I see it, can I hear it, can I feel it, can I touch it, there's like a big cosmic download. There's a new structure about to be pulled up. Like a new template is about to get thrown down. So I think we'll see what's going to happen for Sagittarius energy. And it's probably coming in that way because Jupiter is in Aquarius, right? We're bringing in a new communication. We've got we're going to roll out something different. So we have the shift going on here. And also because it's being pulled into a new timeline because of that. All right. So if you want to get a reading, you can check out the complete list in the description box underneath this video. And everything, all of my contact points are through my link tree, linktr.ee/CATtheMinion. So I have prints and merch and actual art items. You can use a coupon code 3star17 to get 17% off 3 or more items on Etsy. If you go through the link tree, that code should pop in at the top. If you want to help donate, like help keep my channel running, you can donate. That's PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. I have coloring books on Amazon. I have a poetry book. Yeah, so the readings and prices are going to be listed below this video in the box, or you can email me. And again, all those contact points are through the link tree. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.